Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu, where it's time to recap another crazy week in the world of K-pop. I hope you're ready for a hefty news update because we have a lot to talk about. Mina posts another disturbing picture of her self-harm, ONE officially disbands after 2.5 years, 5 of the 6 Apink members renew their contracts, idol school manipulators are facing jail time in court, and of course we got a girl group debut and lots of great comebacks to check out. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group in every video, have your say in future content in the channel, and join the official Hallyu Discord server, come support Hallyu on Patreon and join our wonderful community. And with that, let's jump right in. This is your K-pop news update for May 2nd, 2021. So let's start with the most disturbing story first, which involves another shocking development with former AOA member Kwon Mina. Before we get started, here is a very serious trigger warning for the story. Now, as many of us know, AOA, Jimin, and Mina made the news last summer as the group imploded following very public conflicts about Mina being bullied and harassed by group members, mostly from Jimin. Mina then attempted suicide, even posting the gruesome effort on Instagram, prompting emergency calls and hospital treatment. Mina has since been relatively quiet, though is continuing to struggle with the weight of being the family's main source of income, as well as the fact that her sister is in her own battle with cancer. And this past week, it seems to have hit a boiling point once again. Mina posted a picture, which I absolutely will not show you guys here, of her hand bloodied after extensive self-harm. The post was taken down by Instagram, and once again fans became very concerned not just for Mina's health but for her very life. Since then, Mina has posted a massive statement which includes a disturbing look into her mindset, including her open admission to self-harming at least once every 3 days. She also emphasized that people shouldn't view Jimin as the victim, and also told Jimin directly that she wants a one-on-one. Mina said, quote, "Whatever the case it ends up being, I just need to talk to you one-on-one. You know my contact info. If you're a human and you treated me that way for 10 years, don't ignore this message. Try and come up with any stories you can to fight back against me. Try to say anything about what I did to you. I'm confident. When I think about how much I suffered at your hands, I'm just so amazed that I'm not dead from the severe stress." So, Mina definitely needs a lot of help to start healing these wounds, and frankly, if I was Jimin, I would not agree to that meeting purely out of concern for my own safety. Mina's tone here sounds like she might want to get violent or exact some sort of revenge. Like I said, the most important thing is Mina's mental health, and so I sincerely hope that she's able to find some sort of support in her network. Now, there's no good way to move away from such a heavy story, but on a much different note, let's spend a moment talking about the big disbandment that happened this week, which was of course ONE. Even though we knew it was all coming, it's still a tough week for fans, and though we didn't get a goodbye single, there were many pictures and heartfelt messages shared by the girls this week. ONE as a group had an unbelievable run, and I know they'll have several spots on my K-pop playlist for years and years to come, and it's a sad day when we lose such a consistent and talented group like this. So let's all share our favorite ONE comebacks, memories, and moments in the comments below, and let's send them off with a celebration of what they were able to accomplish in their 2.5 years that they had together. Now, Apink made the news this week too, and I think there's been a lot of confusion about what the news means, so let's talk about it for a minute. An announcement was made on the 28th that of these 6 members in the group, 5 of them, Chodong, Namju, Eunji, Hayoung, and Bomi, had all renewed their contracts with Play M. This means that the 6th member, Naeun, is the only member not to do so, and it has since come out that she's been in discussions with YG Entertainment. So on paper at least, Naeun has not left Apink, and in fact she released a statement wherein she said, "We will focus on our separate places for the time being, but we will one day reunite as Apink with one heart and one purpose, so please cheer us on for a brighter future." With that being said, the reality is that we hear this a lot in K-pop and it doesn't often actually happen. I mean, I'm still here as a Soan in 2021 waiting for some sort of SNSD reunion. So we'll have to see how it pans out in practice, but at a bare minimum, Apink lives on with 5 members who re-signed. And on a side note, is anyone else struggling to see the fit with YG here? If you told me an Apink member was going to sign somewhere else, a YG would have been the least likely landing spot in my books. Now this week we also got a pretty wild development regarding the ongoing court proceedings against production staff for the Mnet survival show Idol School. Now in case you're not aware, Idol School is the show that formed girl group from S9, and it has also been the focus of investigations surrounding vote manipulation that changed the results of who made the final group, just like in the other produce shows. Since July 2020, 2 production staff have been charged with obstruction of business and fraud, and while they both admitted to manipulating votes in court, they did not plead guilty, saying that their actions were not a crime. Well, this past week, on April 26th, the prosecution recommended prison for both of the defendants. One sentence would be 18 months in length and the other 1 year. In my opinion, this is a pretty big deal, as we've seen lots of cases in the past where these staff members of other shows get off with fines, but only recommending jail time means it must have been more serious with Idol School, or they're trying to really set a precedent here. Either way, we'll find out the verdict at the final hearing, which is scheduled for June 10th. Alright, now that was a whole bunch of news to take in, so let's take some time to once again check out all the wonderful new music our favorite groups and soloists bestowed upon us this week. Let's start with ITZY, who are on the attack in their brand new comeback. Here is In the Morning.
I'm the mafia.
AB6 are back and exploring the dream world with this gorgeous MV for Close.
Closer eyes.
Soloist BB has gone off the deep end and is looking at Edgy in the rearview mirror in her latest comeback. This is Bad, Sad, and Mad.
Drip, 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 drip on my waist and I keep, begging and addicted.
PD Hong's S2 Entertainment debuted their brand new girl group Hot Issue this week. Here's their debut song, Gratata.
Sniper. Gratata, I'm gonna shoot, you're gonna boom, 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 we're gonna bang.
On and Off showed off their excellent choreo in this high energy track called Ugly Dance. Ivan, the cover artist turned soloist, gave us this wholesome, easy listening song called AI. Norazo is completely on brand in this ridiculous eyebrow-raising MV for Vegetable. Rapper PH1 combined forces with Jamie in 365 and 7.
Counting started now, and it's 65 and 7 days a week.
And speaking of rappers, Giant Pink is back with an easygoing track called Come Closer. FX's Amber Liu posted a double release this week, starting with the song Vegas.
So let's go back to Vegas. Oh, let's go back to.
And Amber's second release is this dark and somber song called Blue.
I think about you.
Veteran indie singer E Yun enlisted the talents of RM in his latest heartbreak-filled song. This is Don't. And last but certainly not least, we have ENHYPEN, whose latest comeback, Drunk Dazed, is more than meets the eye. As always, I want to know what songs from the past week caught your eye down in the comments. My pick for this week is Hot Issue's debut. I loved their style and the song, but there's also something pretty funny behind the scenes here. So S2 Entertainment's producer is PD Hong from Cube, right? And he helped Cube rise to fame in the second generation, particularly with 4 Minute. And what was 4 Minute's debut called again? I don't know if this is Hong taking a cheeky shot at Cube or not, but either way, I loved the debut. And now let's get back to some news where we found out that SHINee are dropping an original Japanese album this summer. The album will be out on July 28th and will feature 5 new songs. And in case you're concerned about Taemin not being a part of the album, not to worry, all the recording has already been completed for the entire album. BTS have revealed their upcoming comeback. The single, due out on May 21st, will be called Butter. And while we're talking about those big hit music comebacks, Tomorrow by Together's return has also been confirmed for May 31st. The boys will be releasing a full album called The Chaos Chapter Freeze. Some great news came out of the courts on April 27th as the Guhara Act has finally been passed. This new law will protect children's wealth and estate from their parents who are deemed to have neglected or violated their parental roles as well as committed crimes. Though it's sad that this couldn't be applied to Guhara's case in particular, her brother has made sure that so many children will be protected in the future, and it's a beautiful addition to the late Kara member's legacy. The much anticipated Brave Girls comeback has been slated for June. The mini album is reportedly 80% done, and as we found out before, the concept will be focused on the girls being summer queens. Congratulations to Highlight, formerly known as Beast of course, whose song Fiction has become their first to cross the 100 million view threshold on YouTube. This song is iconic, and I've actually done a deep dive on the incredible Inception-like story that it tells, so definitely check that out if you haven't. Gongwon Sonya are joining the May roster as they've announced they'll be making a comeback on May 20th, and it will include all 7 members. Unfortunately, we have some bad news for fans of Signature this week as Yeya and Sun have left the group. These girls are the main vocal and main dancer of the group, so there will definitely be a void in the lineup going forward. ITZY's brand new album Guess Who pulled in some incredible pre-order numbers, topping over 260,000 copies. This is of course their first album to clear 250,000 pre-orders. Rain has found himself in a bit of a controversy as a visit to his alma mater caused some COVID protocols to be breached. While filming for Season B Season, he was being shown around the premise and his presence drew crowds of students, as you can see here. There's a bit of uncertainty around if the school actually approved his visit in the first place, but either way the resulting crowds were not good. GOT7's Mark has landed himself a deal with the Creative Artists Agency, or CAA. This is a really big signing, as CAA is a premier talent agency in the US. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever Mark has in store for us. In case you weren't already convinced that 2021 is actually just a time warp back to the second generation of K-pop, look who is back. Boyfriend have dropped a surprise announcement that they're returning to the K-pop scene. They'll be under the new group name BF. KDA's Comeback More has won an award at the 19th Annual Game Audio Network Guild Awards. The song, which of course features G-idols Miyeon and Soyeon, won the award for Best Original Song. Alright, now let's talk about another week in music shows. This week, the show had a Brave Girl special and Show Champion didn't have a broadcast, so only 4 winners were crowned this week. And much like last week, it was a complete sweep, but not by Kong Daniel this time. NU'EST took the shows by storm with their comeback Inside Out, taking all 4 possible wins this week with a deserving song. Are we gonna get another sweep next week, or will the races be closer? Let me know what your predictions are for music shows next week down in the comments. Alright K-popers, you're now officially caught up on everything that's going on in the K-pop world. Let me know how you feel about all the brand new news that we got and the new music down in the comments. As always, if you want to stay caught up with the K-pop world as it happens while having a ton of fun every single week, make sure that you're subscribed right here to Hallyu.